two people. I interview each of them once a week. Colonel Doug Macgregor. Colonel Macgregor was one of the chief policy advisors in the Trump Department of Defense. He's a West Point graduate, career military and tank commander. The other person that I interview is Scott Ritter. Scott, of course, was a Marine Corps veteran, retired as a major, and was involved in weapons inspection in Iraq. Scott was one of the team that told George W. Bush Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction, and Bush didn't want to hear it. The two of them have presented a picture of what's going on in Ukraine that roughly is as follows. The areas of Ukraine that Russia seeks have been going back and forth between Russia and Ukraine for 300 years, and they are predominantly populated by Russian-speaking people. There is a legitimate, legal, historical, and geographical claim that Russia has on this property. Indeed, this property was the subject of national elections in Russia that were won by a leader close to Vladimir Putin until the American CIA overthrew him and engineered sham elections, the second of which was won by Vladimir Zelensky. That's point number one. Point number two, the Russian military far outnumbers in experience, skill, and manpower the Ukraine military, and it's nearly impossible for the Russian military to lose. President Putin would lose his work and probably his life if he didn't succeed in this war. Number three, there's absolutely no national security interest of the United States of America bearing upon the outcome of this war. It doesn't involve American lives. It doesn't involve American property until we started sending military hardware there. And it's 5,000 and 6,000 miles away from us. It doesn't involve our national security at all. What does it involve? It involves the wish of the globalists in Western Europe and in the State Department and currently in the Defense Department, remove Putin from office so that Russia can become more pliant and more friendly to the United States. We have no business. Look, Putin is a very tough guy. You could call him a monster. You could call him a butcher. But we have no business going around the world looking for monsters or tough guys or butchers to slay, because if we do, there will be no end to our search. And if we do, we won't be spreading freedom and democracy. We'll be spreading violence and destruction. We are depleting our substantial supplies, not our surplus, not our excess, our substantial supplies, sending military equipment to Ukraine. None of it will come back. It will all be destroyed. In Europe, there are currently 100,000 American troops. They're not playing touch football. They are ready to move on 24 hours notice. 40,000 of them are within 10 miles of the Ukraine-Polish border, training with 90,000 Polish troops. The president of Poland is trigger happy, and he can't wait to send those troops in. He doesn't want to send them in without Americans. There is, in my view, zero support amongst the American public to put American troops on the ground in Ukraine. But when all else fails, when your own Justice Department is investigating you, when it's nearly impossible for you politically to justify your terrible stewardship of the executive branch of the federal government, what do? You take the country to war.